Guys, how's it going? So today I wanted to do a little tour of my front garden and take you along. This is the view I see as I come out of my door, and a lot of the flowers are blooming and the garden is really filling and looking so good. It's the last day of May today, and I wanted to share with you what the garden is looking like. Here is a bloom on the cherry truffle heuchera. It's looking really pretty and settled in this spot, and really nice against these beautiful violas that are also blooming their hearts out right now, and it's just a stunning, beautiful combination. I also have the geums that are also blooming a lot. I haven't deadheaded anything here, and it's still blooming and looking really gorgeous, which is what shows me that these flowers are really low maintenance and they're going to still keep blooming and putting out new blooms, and there's still lots of new buds on this plant ready to open. I also have lots of roses that are budded up, and I think in about a couple of weeks I should have a bunch of roses bloomed, and it's going to show me the first flush of blooms, and it's so exciting to wait for that. But these gaillardias, these blanket flowers, have been blooming, and look at the size of these blooms. They are huge and they are looking really stunning. I love the pop of color that they provide against the Supertunia bubblegum vista. Like, this is also looking really nice. I'm not in love with this combination, having these colors together, but I wanted to try the Supertunia bubblegum vista and see how it performs in my garden. But I do love the gaillardia blanket flowers, and next year I might try a different tone. Maybe a purple might be better, but I still do love the garden because I have all the colors. Everything kind of flows and looks good together. And this is the lavender that's budded up. This is a phenomenal lavender, and it should be blooming soon as well. It sent up a whole bunch of flower stalks. I have 4 of these lavenders, and I also have this beautiful ground cover, I guess it's a ground cover. It's an alpine geranium that's also blooming. It has the most prettiest, delicate, dainty blooms that I really love, and it's now coming into its own when it's hotter and the weather has warmed up a lot. So it's really coming into its own. The Ringo roses are all still blooming. My April night salvia in the back there is almost done blooming, and I think in about a week or 2 I'll have to deadhead, and it's going to send out new flowers. I already see new buds coming up on these plants, so it is going to send up new flower shoots. So I just have to come in here and cut these old stalks. But I'm interested and I'm curious to see what this one is going to do, and I think it's going to look beautiful. It's looked beautiful for a few weeks now. The Atlas roses are blooming their hearts out as well, and they are looking gorgeous. I'm sorry for the truck noise here because there's garbage pickup day today. So this is the Atlas rose. I'm going to hit pause on this and I'll start when the truck leaves. Wait for the truck noise to disappear. I wanted to show you these beautiful yellow bearded irises that are blooming in my garden. Aren't they just beautiful? I love the color of these beautiful yellow irises. These were given to me by a friend who has a wonderful garden, and I just love gifts like this from friends. They just are extra special in the garden, and I love how this one looks in the garden. It's just beautiful, and I can see this tall iris from my kitchen, and it's stunning. And I love how it looks against all the colors of the Jacob's ladder. I have purple rain Jacob's ladder in the back, and I also have these beautiful painted African daisies. So it looks really pretty together with that, and I just love how this really shines in my garden. And I love irises, and I don't have too many of them in my garden, and I'm hoping to add more as time goes on because I'm actually really loving how simple and how architectural and beautiful they are, and the leaves look so beautiful even after they're done blooming. and they add a little something to the garden. So I'm gonna go and show you the rest of my front garden, and I'll come back to this area when I'm all done. Another iris that's blooming in my front garden bed. This is a Siberian iris. It's called paparish, and it's just beautiful. It's got a deep almost like a burgundy and purple and yellow colors in it, and it's really pretty. Just excited that it bloomed this first season, and I just love how this bloom looks like it's the only bloom on this plant, but it's really pretty. So the truck is gone, but this is, I was telling you, the Atlas roses are blooming their hearts out, and this is just the most beautiful soft color rose. It is just beautiful in the garden. It just looks amazing, and I highly recommend if you are thinking of planting a rose. It has a beautiful fragrance, and it's just a beautiful, stunning rose in the garden. Lots more buds to come on this one and open as well. And in front of that, I do have Ringo roses planted, and they complement each other a lot. It just looks like a beautiful color combination together with the Atlas rose, and I love this combination a lot. It's added such a dramatic pop of color, and also in some ways a lot of color blocking of the same colors tones, which look really good in this spot. And I have verbena. This is a perennial verbena that I found recently at a garden plant sale, and it's beautiful. It's blooming its hearts out, and against the cat's pajama nepeta, it looks really good, and you can see the difference in the color. This is more of a lighter pale blue, and this is more of a really deep intense purple, and I love the colors on this. And I also have beautiful scabiosa plants blooming. Lots of bumblebee action happening. As you can see, they love the roses, and especially the Ringo roses, because they are open and very convenient for the pollinators to get to the nectar. And on this side, I also have another catmint, and I have a Glow Girl spirea that is in full bloom, and it looks amazing. Look at the colors. I just love this color combination with the chartreuse leaves and the white flowers. It looks really pretty in this spot. I love how this looks. And I also have another one here which is blooming. This is also looking so stunning in this spot. And my rock garden has a few things blooming in here, and it's really nice to see this fill up and come to life, and it's just looking stunning. These are the thrifts that are blooming. I also have these little alpine flowers. I think these are rock alpine ice plants. They are blooming. I do have to come in here and weed, but I am enjoying this today just the way it is. I did weed the other beds in the front yesterday, but I forgot to come in this rock garden and weed. It's almost as though you look away and the weeds are back, but it's okay. I love being in my garden and pulling out weeds. It's a fun thing to do and spend time in my garden. And here the Paint the Town Red Dianthus is also blooming a lot, and once it's done blooming, I will shear it back and see if it produces more blooms. I do have the Golden Spring Alyssum that's also blooming, and it's looking really pretty. And I also have the Cerise Queen Rock Rose that also started blooming. It's really pretty little sprawly ground cover type plant, and I like how it looks. I'm excited to see it spill over this this side, and it's going to look pretty. Peonies might be blooming in the next week or so, I think. And here is my salvia, another salvia. This is a very old salvia which is all budded up, and it's going to be beautiful when it starts to bloom. It's, I think, more of a pink colored salvia, and it's kind of seeded itself. It's growing in all these cracks, and I'm going to let it because I like how that looks. Yeah, so the garden is coming along, and And I'll show you what this side looks like. I also have the Supertunia Bubblegum Vista that's also blooming its heart out. Lithodora is blooming nicely as well, and it's adding some color. I have the Pardon My Rose Monarda, which is also blooming. I actually wanted to show you what the spent flower heads look like. They kind of turn this color, and it looks really pretty too when it's spent. Lots and lots of buds on them, and looks really pretty. My pansies are also blooming still, and violas are still blooming as well, and they're looking pretty in the garden. Tulips are going over. I mean, this is the last flush of tulips. Lots and lots of buds on roses, so excited to see when they open. My best bet iris has opened, and I love how this looks. This is a new bearded iris that I planted this season, and I wanted to show you what this looks like. Isn't that gorgeous, the color? It's just an amazing color. I can't wait for this to mature and have multiple bloom stalks, and it's just gonna look stunning. It's got four blooms on this one stalk, and what's exciting about this one is it may even rebloom in the autumn, so I'm excited for the possibility of that. And it's really pretty, the colors. And the beard is also a deep purple color, which is very pretty, and it's got a little bit of a yellow tinge to it, which is really different and pretty. In the back there, my geraniums are blooming as well and adding a nice pop of pink. I do have some alliums that are blooming there, and catmins are blooming. That is another variety that I have there. I don't know the name, but it's kind of flushing out a lot of growth and blooming, and it looks really pretty. And I do have a Persian blue one, which is also blooming, and there is a weed right in the center of it that's growing. It's crazy how fast these things come up and grow, but it's doing really well in this spot. And I have another one over here which is also in full bloom, and it's looking really gorgeous in that spot, and it's filling in really nicely. The crystal blue salvia is also blooming, and I also have this beautiful delphinium. I think this is a dwarf delphinium, I think alpine delphinium, that I planted here, and it's really pretty. I love the really bright blue blooms on it. I have 3 of these, but this is the only one that's blooming, and it's really pretty. And my Japanese maple has now leafed out, and I wanted to show you beautiful variegation on these leaves. I don't know if you can see, but it has like a beautiful pink and burgundy variegation on this Japanese maple. It's called Lilianne's Jewel Japanese maple. Very pretty. The bark is a yellowish mustard color, and the leaves are a nice contrast against it. The hokras are filling in here, and again, this is another crystal blue salvia, which is looking really pretty. And my Miss Kim lilacs are just about starting to open their blooms. They are still quite a bit short because I just planted them last year, but they are doing well and they are starting to open. And I have a Sonic Bloom Pink Vigila, which is covered in buds top to bottom, and it should open up I think in another week or so, or less than that. It's ready, it's getting there. And other than that, I recently planted this big bunch of Scabiosa here, which is also doing really well. I don't know if you can see with all the shadow, but it is looking really beautiful and filling in that spot. The phlox are getting ready. Lots and lots of buds on my quick fire hydrangea. Lots and lots of buds coming there. And yeah, the garden is looking really pretty. It's coming to life. It's got a lot of flowers now, and it's looking really pretty. And I wanted to take you along and show you what it was looking like. And I'm going to walk over to my side garden and show you what that's looking like as well. and what's blooming in there, what's changed in there a little bit. Lots of rose action probably expected in the next 2 weeks or so. Can't wait to share that with you. So this is my side garden, lots of little blooms here as well. There's scabiosa, there is painted African daisies that I recently planted. I have the Roseanne geranium that's come into bloom. I have Jacob's ladder that's blooming in the back there. Lots of flowers on this Viva Paulownia clematis that I recently planted. This is by Proven Winners. And I also have lots and lots of flowers on my Bloomerang dark purple lilac. It's looking really, really beautiful. And yeah, this part of the garden is slowly coming to life. Lots of weeding to be done here, but this is the blue ice Amsonia, now fully open and looking really, really pretty. These salvias are also blooming now. I have 4 of them here and they are looking really pretty, adding a lot of color in this garden. And yeah, lots of buds on the bobo hydrangeas as well. And I have this Vigila here that is now blooming. This is the Sonic Bloom pink Vigila. This is the same as the one I showed you in the front. This one is a little bit ahead because it's already blooming and it's looking really, really pretty. Lots of buds on this Also Easy lemon zest roses, and they should bloom soon. I think all the roses probably need another week or 2 to start blooming. I have lots and lots of alliums here, and they're doing really, really well. These Yuki cherry blossom deutzias is finally showing me their blooms. I was thinking that they would bloom a lot sooner than what they did, but regardless, they are blooming now and they're looking really, really pretty. I have 3 of them planted down my staircase here and they look gorgeous. I can show you a view from up here. They just look stunning. And yeah, like a lot of alliums are blooming. They're looking really, really pretty. And this is the view of the garden from here, and it's really filling in this border and looking really, really precious and pretty. The woodland garden is also doing good. I mean, it's not really blooming, but a lot of the plants are filling in. The hostas are coming to life, and lots and lots of plants are just filling in here. The dogwoods have leafed out now and they are doing well. The grasses are filling in a bit, and I do have some blooms on this dogwood, which is looking really, really pretty, as you can see. And yeah, I also planted some caladium in this container, and I wanted to show you. Oh, it had a bloom stalk which is now done, but I had no idea that caladiums also bloom. So this was its bloom. It was looking really pretty, and I think it's gone over now. And I also planted some more caladium here and some coleus in this bed here. So hoping that grows and fills in a bit. I love the color on this one a lot because it adds such a pop of color along with the caladium. And this coleus here is also really, really, really pretty. It's called Strawberry Sorbet. It's a Shadow King Rex begonia. It's gorgeous. And yeah, so this Tiger Eye sumac that I transplanted here has leafed out nicely. I was worried when I transplanted it, but it's taken to the new spot and it's doing really, really well. The garden on this side is also filling in really, really nicely. I did plant some marigolds here, along with some marigolds in my veg garden here. So just wanted to show you things are coming along and growing. I think I may even have a chili pepper on one of these already. I think I saw one growing. Yeah, here it is. I saw one growing yesterday. So to come out here and water this, and it's just looking beautiful. It's filling in. And I also planted some radish which are poking through. So the garden is doing good over here. And the back garden is also filling in, and lots to look forward to, lots of new blooms. Lots of roses are going to open soon, and I will share that in my next tour. Yeah, I planted this rose tree here, which is also doing really well. And lots of, this is the lyrical blue salvia, which I also recently planted, and it's looking really good. There's giant alliums that have bloomed here that are doing well and looking really nice at this time. The alliums are still going strong even in this bed. Lots of green. And here are some lavender lilac blooms. This is also bloomerang dark purple. It's looking beautiful. Lots and lots of purple in my backyard right now before the roses come in. And the peonies. The peony is getting ready, I think, to bloom as well. And lots of roses to come. And more alliums here that are still blooming and looking pretty. And I wanted to show you these beautiful blooms of this, I think these are called button. I forget the name of these blooms, but they are, oh sorry, they are bachelor buttons. So these are blooming. They bloom in the spring and then they go away. Aren't they the most beautiful blooms? I love the combination of these blooms, purple and white, and they look really, really pretty in this back garden. I have two of them that bloom every spring, and they're looking really pretty. Yeah, so the garden is filling in. The 9-barks have a lot of buds on them, so they should be blooming soon, and I'll share with you what all the blooms look like when the 9-barks bloom. And yeah, the garden is looking very, very pretty, and I do have one bloom open on my Nova Zembla rhododendron. It's the most beautiful, stunning colored bloom. I love this deep magenta pink, and I think this bloom looks really, really pretty in this dark corner. I can't wait for this plant to get bigger and look beautiful in this spot when it's all in bloom. So yeah, the garden has come along, and I wanted to share with you what it looked like today. It's the last day of May, and with that, I wanted to thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked watching this video, do give me a thumbs up and let me know. And I will be doing weekly tours of my garden and showing you what's happening. And I hope everyone has a fabulous day wherever you're joining me from. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do consider subscribing. I post about all things gardening and my garden regularly. I hope everyone has a fabulous day, and happy gardening, everyone. And I'll catch you in my next video.